First up, out of the box, you'll get the carry bag, the tent body, the poles for the tent, stakes in this smaller carry bag here, and the rainfly with pre-attached guidelines. To set up the Stormbreak, first grab the tent body and lay it on the ground. Then grab 4 of the 10 stakes that were provided and stake down the 4 corners of the tent body lightly using the webbing loop at each corner. I highly recommend doing this because it makes the entire setup so much easier. Now, here are the poles you'll get with the tent. Grab the 2 long ones first, and we'll get to the shorter ones later. Assemble the 2 long poles and lay them across the top of the tent in an X. This is what it should look like. Then go to one corner of the tent and insert the pole there into the grommet in that corner. After that, go to the other end of that same pole, pick it up, and flex it to insert the other pole tip into the other grommet in that opposite corner. The pole should be able to flex pretty easily and form an arch like this. Do the exact same thing with the other pole, one end into the grommet first, then the other end, and it helps to hold up the pole that we've already secured at the same time. Now, here's what the poles should look like when all 4 ends are secured. After that, locate the top pole clip. It should be right at the center in this white square on the tent body. Then grab the 2 poles, hold them up, bend down, lift the center pole clip up, and connect it to the top pole at the intersection of the 2 long poles. Doing so will make the tent a little bit more stable as compared to when you connect it to the bottom pole instead. Then go ahead and secure 2 pole clips to each end of each pole, like so. This is what I mean, 2 pole clips at each end of each pole. There are still some leftover pole clips at the white square at the top of the tent. Do not connect those first. These are for later. Just connect the bottom 2 pole clips for each corner first. Next, grab the last of the poles. That's the 2 shorter poles right here. Go ahead and assemble them. Then locate the grommets at the top of the tent and secure one end of the pole first into the front grommet. Then, while still holding the pole, because it'll fall out if you let go of it, go to the back of the tent and secure the other end. Here's a close-up of the short pole and the grommets at the top. Do the exact same thing with the other short pole, and remember the pole clips we haven't attached yet? Those are to be secured onto the short poles, like so. Once the tent body is done, you can pull the entire tent taut and restake the 4 corners down. The next step is the rainfly. Locate the single red webbing on the rainfly. This is color-coded to match the single red webbing on the tent body. The other 3 webbings are just yellow in color. Pull the rainfly over the tent with the red webbing in this corner. And also make sure the vestibule zips are located over the tent doors. Now, before securing the rainfly, go underneath to the short poles and locate the grommet on the underside of the rainfly. Secure these grommets to the tips of the short poles. If you don't secure these, the pole tips will cut into the rainfly fabric and they're kind of sharp. But if you secure the grommets, this will align the rainfly properly and make sure the pole tips are poking into the reinforced fabric here instead of the rainfly fabric. Once you've done that, we can secure the 4 corners of the rainfly. So with the buckle on the webbing facing towards the tent, pull this second webbing underneath the other one and secure the pole tip into the grommet. Here's a close-up of what that looks like. To tighten the rainfly webbing, gently pull down on the rainfly, then use your other hand to pull on the webbing to tighten it. On the other hand, to loosen it, just press down on the buckle gently and it'll loosen pretty easily. Do so for all 4 corners of the tent until the rainfly is taut. Then grab another 4 stakes to stake down the vestibules. Each vestibule needs 2 stakes and there are 2 vestibules, so 4 stakes altogether. Here's a close-up of the stake loops on the vestibules. Now go inside each vestibule and you'll find pole wraps on the underside of the rainfly. Just secure these to the poles to better align the rainfly, and there are 4 of these, 1 for each pole. After that, you can use the last 2 stakes to stake down the 2 widths of the tent. And last, we have 4 guy lines, which we don't have stakes for, so remember to bring 4 extra stakes if you need to guy out the tent. Taking down the Stormbreak is just the opposite of the setup, and here's how to pack everything back into the carry bag. One tip I have for you here is to leave the doors slightly open when you're taking down the tent, so that the air gets pushed out more easily and you pack away later. Once you've taken the entire tent down, for the rainfly, just keep folding it in half until it's about small enough to fit back into the carry bag. As for the tent body, first fold it in half. Then when you place a carry bag beside it, you'd realize it's too big to fit in, so the next step is to third the tent body. Now it's definitely the right size to fit back in. Then pack the rainfly on top of that, make sure it's small enough, and place the poles and stakes on top of the rainfly. Wrap everything tightly against the poles and everything should go back into the carry bag no problem at all. For a full review of the North Face Stormbreak 2, check out this video on the screen. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in that one.